Starting your coffee with chopsticks using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee. At the molecular level, good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, Trader Joe's cold brew coffee. We'll see how this is. I put some milk froth in it. Not bad. Not bad at all. Cold brew has a whole different vibe to it. If you've ever tried cold brew, it's not as acidic as regular coffee. It's a nice little break. It is. Not bad at all. Let me show it to you. This is it right here. Trader Joe's cold brew coffee concentrate, 100% Arabica beans, makes 12 8-ounce cups of coffee. Low acid, mild tasting, truly cold brewed, has never been heated. Makes 96 fluid ounces of coffee. Mix 1 part of coffee with 2 parts milk or water. Serve hot or iced. I'm not an iced coffee guy. It's hot coffee or go home. But it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Cheers. Ah, that's nice. Well, let's get started here. You got to get that little flashlight that I did a video on yesterday. This little bad boy here. Man, what a cool little thing. Last night I went to bed a little bit late, and I was out in the Van Gogh room, and on my way back in, I walked around the backyard, and it was bright. It was bright. It really did light up more than just what was in front of me. It literally lit up the entire backyard. The ad claims that it's 900 lumens. I'm not so sure about that, but it is pretty darn bright and reliable. If you look on the Amazon ad, and I'll put a link for it down below, you'll see how many hours, operation hours, it has on the different levels of brightness. It's pretty cool. It's going to last a long time. I could literally take this, I could take this away for a whole weekend, like a weekend camping trip. I would need like 2 lights, probably. This one here, and of course, this one. The Fulton. Did you ever see a magician take someone from an audience and get them to do things that they would never normally do? That's exactly what your government has done to you for the past 3 years. I hate to say that I'm right, but I was right on this one. I was wrong on some things. I was right on this thing here. Now there's some interesting things being said about the test that test the swab that you jam up your nose, and some of the effects. Has anyone seen any of those videos that were released about that test that they have everybody taking? The China virus, the China solution, and the swabs, the testing swabs from China. Gee, you don't have to be a freaking conspiracy theorist to see what's going on here. I just heard a little kitty. As some of you know, I went to a Christian university for one of my degrees. Very, very strict. Extremely strict. I definitely was not a good match for the school. As I look at my classmates from over 40 years ago, like, connected with many of them, I have to say this, that mostly everybody looks really good. And the one thing they all have in common is what I would call clean Christian living. Or just clean living. It doesn't even have to be Christian. I went to a Christian university. All of the people that went there are Christian. But I'm not saying that clean living won't work for anyone else. But I have to say this, as I look through social media and see my former classmates, everybody looks really good. there is something about clean living and relying on the Lord for peace and comfort. I have said this probably more in the past 10 years than any other time in my life, that stress in a person's life, I think stress will literally have a worse effect than alcohol or drugs. I really think that. You can eat processed crappy food, you can drink tons of alcohol, you can do drugs that just wear your body down. But I will tell you that stress can really hurt you. Raises your blood pressure, gives you a lack of focus, reduces or eliminates sexual desire and function. Stress destroys relationships, marriages, parenting, work relationships. It's not good. It is not good at all. So when I say that the Christian classmates look good, look very healthy, I will tell you that it's not just avoiding alcohol and drugs and processed food that keeps you healthy. There is an element of mental health, positive mental health, that comes through prayer and relying on God for your daily needs. I am absolutely convinced of that, 100%. I don't know where I would be without God's saving grace. I have no idea. I really don't. Even though that I cheapened it, even though that I abused it, I still feel like God's grace and peace has kept me normal, whatever normal is. Do you need an MC for your next event, conference, seminar, series of workshops? Someone to even interview your speakers in a separate show for a podcast? I would suggest that you need a pro, someone like myself. I do this part-time to keep the show rolling. And confirm its value for the attendees, especially if you're charging a premium price for the workshops, conferences, or events. I've been doing this for, well, I think the first conference that I emceed was in 1984. It's a long time ago. I have done everything from conferences to fashion shows, hair shows, workshops, dinner speeches, that type of thing. Not everybody can do that. And nobody has attended more conferences and retreats than me. I love that stuff. Love it. I grow. My income increases. I feel better. I get challenged. I just become a better human being when I'm around people that are excelling in life. Like some of the people that I met last weekend at the Impact event in Philadelphia, 3-day conference. Whew, you're going to meet some of them on this channel within the next year, I'm going to have them on the show. But I have grown so much from doing conferences and retreats and events. It's amazing. One of the things that keeps an event going is a good MC, a good host that does meet and greet, that uses a little bit of humor, that keeps things structured, keeps things rolling. Never underestimate the power of a solid host, a solid MC to your event. If you need that, if you see the need for that, let me know. Email me. I do love this line from John Eldridge from Wild at Heart, the Wild at Heart series. Two quotes that are phenomenal. A man needs a much bigger orbit than a woman. He needs a mission, a life purpose, and he needs to know his name. Only then is he fit for a woman, for only then does he have something to invite her into. She's never your mission. She joins your mission. That's the key. If she is a strong, independent woman doing her own thing, okay, you can have a relationship with her, but you're not going to have a closeness. You're not going to like weave together and have a oneness. If you just want to do that Katharine Hepburn thing, what does she say? Men and women are not really suited for each other. Just a little visit every now and then to kind of keep things going. It's that it's like the concept of relationship fasting. You have time together, you have time apart. But if you want to spend your life together and building something, this is why I said about 2 years ago, gentlemen, find a woman that wants to build. If she doesn't want to build, she's just going to waste your time. Now, if you just want to have fun, that's fine. As long as one person doesn't want anything more, no one's going to feel ripped off. No one's going to feel like they're being used. The second thing John Eldridge says, and I think this is pretty wise, every woman in her heart of hearts longs for three things: to be romanced, to play an irreplaceable role in a great adventure, and to unveil beauty. That's what makes a woman come alive. Interesting, right? But whatever you think of that, put your comments down below. I'd like to hear that. As you know, I attended a magnificent business and money conference last weekend for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It wasn't manosphere related. It wasn't a Christian event. However, most of the speakers and attendees were happily married people with kids and grandkids and supportive wives. The wives who were partners in their success. It was kind of refreshing, but this conference was great. It was so cool just hanging out with successful people. I definitely was not the smartest one in the room, so I knew I was at the right conference. I was watching a broadcast with Michael J. Fox, you know, from, what was it, Family Ties, and of course Back to the Future, talking about his Parkinson's disease. Knowing someone with Parkinson's makes you tougher. How is that? You know why? Because you can't fall to pieces as they do. As their abilities decrease, you have to remain strong. It's the same with any disease. It makes you tougher. You can't fall to pieces. You rise to the occasion to help someone who is suffering from a disease. You get strong for them when they need it. Two blubbering fools get nothing done. One person has to remain strong. The person with Parkinson's or disease looks to you for a little nod of strength. It's amazing how just a simple, you got this, can help a person. Got my new phone, a Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. It's a big phone. That is what I'm recording on now. I sent in or traded in my old one. This one has 1 terabyte of storage. The video is incredible. I can do up to 8K shooting, which is pretty wild if you think about it, for something that fits in your pocket. And I'm still discovering, after about a week, what it can do. And I'm watching a lot of videos on YouTube on what things to disable, what things to use, what things will enhance my experience with this new phone, and I'm actually loving it. I bought a new case for it. It's, you know, a rubber piece that goes around the phone and then it snaps into a plastic piece, and it's very substantial. I really like it. So I will fill you in on how the S23 Ultra is doing. Will Spencer from Renaissance of Men, he says, a femininity conference with an all-female lineup? Who would have thought? Join us for the next Renaissance of Men digital conference on Saturday, June 3rd. The Proverbs 31 Woman's Virtues: Dignity, Wisdom, Courage, Patience, Devotion, Diligence, and Generosity. That's Saturday, June 3rd. This is for women. So for the ladies that are watching, I want you to check out Renaissance of Men. Just Google that. You'll find the conference. And for you men, this could be a good thing for your wives or girlfriends. Spend the money. It's not a lot of money for this digital conference. There's a great lineup of speakers. I really, really think that every woman that attends this digital conference is going to benefit. Those that have shown mercy receive mercy. It's quite magical, isn't it? Actually, it's a spiritual thing. It's biblical. Whatsoever a man sows, that shall he also reap. The non-religious person might say, what goes around comes around, right? Those that don't show mercy, crickets are your reward. Nothing but crickets. When bad shit happens to you, no one is going to extend mercy to you or grace to you if you've been a jackass with other people. So don't be surprised if you suffer a tragedy and nobody responds with mercy. If you have been unmerciful and savage in your responses, remember, blessed are the peacemakers. Last weekend, after the conference, there was a bunch of things that kind of triggered me. For instance, I came home and I was kind of angry at a couple things. Not at the conference. A couple situations in life. I was angry. I actually felt anger. Like, where do you harbor your anger? Like, for me, anger, I feel it like in the back of my neck and the top of my shoulders. Like, literally, that stress from the anger resides like in the top part of my body. And I could have taken a walk. I could have just watched Netflix. I could have just had a cocktail or something. Walk your frustration away, but lift your anger away. You're not just pissed in your head. Your whole body is angry. A full body workout, which is what I did, removes most of that anger and agitation. Plus, it's a super form of mindfulness and automatic thought blocking. So I get back from a long day at a conference, took the train back home. I don't know, got home about 6 o'clock, 6:30. Go to bed 8:30. I could have just blown that 2 hours, like I said, watching TV or just pouring a strong one, which I have done less and less in my lifetime. Instead, I just threw on a t-shirt, shorts, and sneakers, hightailed it to the gym, and did a full body workout, everything. Did my normal full body workout without resting in between sets, which means that I was in and out in less than an hour. Magically, the stress and anger, gone. Slept like a baby that night. I know if I didn't do that, I would have tossed and turned all night long. Lifting is amazing. It's such focused mindfulness. Like, you can't think about the things that trigger you. You can't be agitated after a good lifting session. You can't. It's impossible. Walk away frustration, but lift away the anger. Quick reminder, lack of clarity is the root of all failure. Clarity is the root of all success. Have you noticed that? What you need is clarity. I like to say that my work enhances sanity, clarity, and reason. Clarity is what helps you with your purpose. One of the testimonials at this conference I went to was from one of the speakers. He was doing 2.7 billion with a B a year. He was working 100 hours a week, neglecting his wife and family, and of course they weren't happy. He got some coaching, how to have clarity and focus and get the same amount of work done in half the time. He paid $100,000 for that coaching. Since then, he has doubled his money, literally over $5 billion in business. He got his marriage and family back. Now he's present and available as a husband, a father, and grandfather. Those were the kind of men that I spent time with. What kind of people are you spending time with? If you spend your time with 5 fat, broke losers, guess what? You're going to be the 6th. Go into rooms where there's people that are smarter than you, where you walk out a better person. It's almost like that Jordan Peterson thing, where he says the statue of David beckons to every man, saying, you can do better. I know when I look at the statue of David, I kind of stand up a little straighter. I compare when I look in the mirror, I try to, imagine myself being fit, muscular, trim, standing up straight, strong, a man with a purpose. That's what the statue of David does for me. In the same way that going to a conference and spending time with high-performing people does for me. I walked away from a 3-day money and business conference with the message that I can do better. Have you ever had any business ideas that you never pursued, or something that you put on a back burner? One of the things that I had a vision for was to create beard products for guys with gray, silver, and white beards. Very color, like not every product is good for every color hair. So I started using blue and purple shampoos and conditioners and beard oils, beard balms, that kind of thing. I created a co-wash bar. A co-wash bar that I use to clean my beard and hair. That is color correct. It helps brighten, makes the white whiter, brighter, takes away any brassiness, because when you have gray, silver, and white hair, you will get some yellowing in your hair and beard. So I created a co-wash bar. There we go. There it is. And I use that now, and I am blown away. Absolutely blown away. I have made a few of them, and I'm going to have a company manufacture these for me. So you don't need beard wash. You need this co-wash bar, which has got shea butter in it. It's got all kinds of things that'll soften the hair and take away the brassiness. I like to say the Kraken, the book, and the beard. The Kraken, I'll show you. There's a Kraken attacking a ship. An actual Kraken itself. Pretty cool, huh? 3-dimensional. The book, 3-dimensional. You like that? This is my co-wash bar that I'm having manufactured. And of course, the Kraken, the book, and the beard. Three-dimensional. And twice a week, use it to clean your hair, gray, silver, and white hair and beard. And you end up with a perfectly white beard. Clean, not dried out from using overpowering soaps and shampoos and beard washes. You need my co-wash bar. And I'm making very specific ones for different color hair and beards that you'll use twice a week. I like the Kraken. I just love how that's very threatening looking. Isn't that cool? Twice a week, and the beard is soft, manageable, removes all the, like I said, the brassiness and weird colors from it without drying the skin underneath, without drying out the actual beard itself. And it's got a high fat content and shea butter in it, which eliminates the need, for the most part, for beard oil. So it's almost like a co-wash beard oil bar. Something to think about. When I start making these on a mass level, or having them made, I'm not making them. I made the first few, but I'm going to have a company manufacture these for me. And I'm going to make some for red beards, black beards, brown beards, color appropriate beard products that enhance the color of your beard and keep it soft. This has been in the works for several years now. It finally came to fruition, and the prototypes are absolutely magnificent. So I'll let you know when they are ready to be released. And I'm going to sell them in lots of 3. The Kraken, the book, and the beard. And I got to figure out a good price point, because 3 of those bars should last a man about a year if you're using it twice a week. I am finishing up the book 1 Second After, which is kind of a dystopian thriller about an EMP that gets exploded over the United States and wipes out the grid, everything electronic, and what happens to the population. It's a dramatic book, very, very good. I like it. And I'm going to read the whole trilogy. It's 1 Second After, 1 Year After. I'm reading 1 Second After right now. A friend of mine is reading the other book, 1 Year After, and then also The Final Day. These books are about 400 pages each, but they read so fast. You will read probably anywhere between 60 and 100 pages per sitting. You will love them. I'm going to put links for them down below. 1 Second After, 1 Year After, and The Final Day. I'm really enjoying them right now. And you'll find out 1 EMP, which stands for electromagnetic pulse. It's basically when a nuke is detonated above the Earth, like 100 miles above the Earth, and it wipes out everything electronic, everything, refrigeration, everything medical, everything mechanical. It's just pure devastation. 1 EMP, and the United States becomes a third world country in 1 week. By the end of the first year, 90% of the population will die if this happens. Pretty crazy, right? And with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you on the next Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason.